It's a crab, a freshwater crab. And I bet you thought you'd never see one here on safari with us. I didn't think that I would ever see one here on safari. And you know, we've seen holes where they live. We've seen 2 or 3 holes where they live, but we've never seen the actual crab before. I'm so excited by this. And you know, we have a special name for a character like this, and his name was Pinchy Weiner, and we thought he was gone. But here he is again. I'm sure this is a different one. And they live in puddles. And you know, they can live for a long time, probably more than 10, 15, when we have no idea. I don't know of any water around here at all. Now, we've had a new school joining us, and their name is again, I'm afraid I've forgotten it, Lufkin. Lufkin School, welcome to us, and I believe you're in Texas. Are you in Texas? That's a long, long way from Virginia Beach, where all of our other schools have come from. Wonderful. Now, I hope it's nice and warm where you are. Now, this freshwater crab likes to live in muddy water, tiny little puddles. He hardly lives in, well, I mean, I don't know very much about him, but he hardly lives in big water, and somehow he manages to survive out here. Now, what he's doing is he's half pretending to be dead, and he's half sort of showing Craig, or the camera, how terrifying he is. I'm sorry, Leanna, I'm finding it very difficult to understand the questions. Let's have it again once more. Oh, is it safe to be near all these animals and insects and things? Yes, absolutely it is, Leanna. It's completely safe as long as we're careful. We're being very careful, and when we walk, we look around carefully behind every bush, under every tree, and just make sure there isn't something dangerous there, or potentially dangerous. Now, can you tell me how many legs this thing has? I want you to try and count them. I'm not going to tell you how many they have. I'd like you to tell us. You'll tell your teacher, and your teacher can then tell us, how many legs does this crab have? See if you can count them all. And remember that the pincers, that's these things here, which he's probably going to get very cross with me if I touch them. See? I'm just stroking him now. These are also legs. The pincers are legs. Isn't he amazing? Look at him, he's just so special. Here are his eyes, you can see his eyes. Now, what I wouldn't want to do is get my finger stuck in here. I think he would hurt me quite badly, because he's very strong. And you can see that his right pincer is much larger than his left pincer. Vanessa, you're wondering what animal that I'm most scared of when I'm on safari. It depends if I'm on walk or if I'm in a car. In a vehicle, I would be most afraid probably of elephants, because elephants tend to sometimes get cross with vehicles, and of course they're very fast and they're very, very strong. I think on foot, the animal that I'm most scared of, especially on a day like this when it's so windy and so it's difficult to hear what's around, would be a buffalo. A big buffalo bull would be quite scary to see on foot here in Africa. This is not something you expect to see in Africa, is it? A funny crab. You expect to see these things running along the beach, not sitting on a roadside in the middle of the African wilderness. Hello, Latifa. I'm not sure why you're worried about this, but apparently you're worried about what will happen if my hat flies away. I'll probably just go and fetch it, Latifa. Alternative... I'll just go and fetch my hat, I guess, or I'll have to buy another one. And you know what, Latifa? I'm bald. I've got no hair under this hat, and in Africa you don't want to have no hair on your head because you can burn. You can burn in the sun, and that's not very good. So I would have to go and find my hat, or I would have to find a very, very big, I'd have to find a very big leaf to put on my head. Sophia, you're wondering what biome we're in. Well, I'd like to tell you we were on the beach, but clearly we're not on the beach. The biome here is called bushveld, and bushveld is basically wood or woody trees mixed with grass. So it's a little bit like a savanna, I suppose, but we'd call this a woodland, bushveld woodland. And if you want to get even more specific, it's called a combretum woodland or broad-leafed woodland. All right. Well, I suppose that we should move on from our crab as... Windsor Oaks, I'm afraid you are incorrect. You say there are only 8 legs on this crab, and I'm afraid you're wrong. I'm going to count them for you. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 legs. See that? And that's why it's called, I'm not sure what kind of crustacean it is, but it is a crustacean with 10 legs. All right, Byron has got something, well, I guess slightly more exciting than a crab.